All right, what's going on out there, peeps? Okay, so what I'm going to try to do is whenever I drop a NESARA GESARA video, I'm going to try to go back and try my dangest to respond to comments and questions that are in there. I try to do that, but sometimes what happens is very overwhelming trying to take care of two Facebook groups, my YouTube channel, and then also do the research and everything. As much as I like to think that I am the almighty all-knowing, it doesn't work that way. So you guys have some great comments in there. You brought up some great points. A lot of you guys are asking for particular medicines that were featured in the video. A lot of you were asking about specific websites. So I'm going to go ahead and get to all of those and hopefully get you what you need. So if you've seen the video that I released today called NESARA GESARA, Releasing the Cures, I'm going to be responding to your comments today. A quick reminder, everybody, we have Pimpy's investment chat. In here, we only talk about investments. Don't bring political stuff in here. Don't talk about campaigns or nothing like it. We do talk about NESARA GESARA, gold, silver, cryptocurrencies are talked about in here. The hidden things in front of your eyes is the group that you're going to want to go to talk about current events, political stuff, as well as those things that you might consider to be conspiracies. All right, you guys, so let's go through here. We'll take the good, the bad, and ugly, and let's see if we can respond to all of them. All right, you guys, so Brian, it says, I don't understand how this can even get a dislike. This about cures for illnesses, AIDS, cancer, brain cancer, so many haters out there. It's disgusting. Okay, so I know, yeah. Of course I do. Well, there's other people who do videos like me, and as much as they want to bash me, they actually come over and watch my videos, so I can't complain. And those are the ones that just automatically put the thumbs down. When I went to my demographics, I seen where they were coming from, and I could take a pretty good guess, but it's not worth the hassle of really going back and forth. I've worked very hard to have a very credible YouTube channel as much as possible. Just keep in mind that everything that I express is just my opinion only. But I do share my ideas, thoughts, because I look for open dialogue and ways in which we can discuss. Now, having said that, that doesn't mean there's always these naysayers or haters. They're just going to come on and talk crap just because they're negative. They're unhappy with their life. Therefore, they try to make other people miserable. So just don't let them get to you, okay? All right, so what do we got here? Brad, you got a couple of them, I think, on here. The earth has everything that could possibly ever be needed to cure all diseases. Yeah, absolutely truthful, because think about it. Before we really got into medicines, I mean, we had been relying for years on plants and food to take care of us, but at the same time, we didn't have all this processed crap that we're eating now, and we weren't getting sprayed in the sky by airplanes, whether you believe in that or not. But absolutely, so just so you guys get a quick idea of where I started learning a bit about homeopathy, and as well as real quick, I learned a lot about cannabis. For those who don't know what cannabis is, cannabis, hemp, as well as marijuana. So when I was getting my first degree in college, I had this teacher named Mrs. Reese. I love her to death. She challenged me all the time. I love being challenged, because if I wasn't challenged in the classroom, it was really hard to keep my attention, and I would get bored really easy. So anyways, we were doing a special project, and I wanted to do it on homeopathy, because there was something about wanting to learn about plants that do stuff for you. So I found I wasn't too far from Berkeley College, and I had found out that there was a young doctor there, and she was a specialist. She taught homeopathy. When I got there, I was blown away by how young she was. She was literally in her early 20s, I think 22, 23, and she had already published 6 books on the different plants that you can eat or use to cure things. And I thought that was interesting. And then she kept going on about stuff, and then she said, now keep in mind, I was pretty young, and I know what marijuana is, and I know what weed is, stuff like that, but I never heard it ever be called cannabis. So when she was there, she was like, well, cannabis actually helps with a lot of these different things. And I was like, cannabis? She's like, yeah, cannabis. Hemp. And I was like, hemp. Now, these are 2 words I've not heard people call weed before, so it blew my mind. She was showing me in all these studies all the different things that marijuana was used to cure. It blew my mind. Then I found out, you made clothes for it. Our Declaration of Independence is made on paper made by hemp. And I was like, what the hell? I totally switched my project around and went from homeopathy into the multiple uses of marijuana, and it blew my mind. So I couldn't believe this. I did go back later on and finish my original project, which was on homeopathy, different plants that do different things. And you learn things like the periwinkle tree is what was used as the blueprint to create aspirin, that if you chew on it, that's all kinds of things. I don't want to get too sidetracked, but yeah, we absolutely have everything you need to be cured. Okay. Laura, no law should ever dictate what sort of medicine treatment we want to use. I refuse any prescription drugs. I research the holistic options and use them. Laura, you and me both. I try to avoid any and all medical treatments. I really do. Even when I was in surgery, when I came to out of the anesthesia, they had me on a morphine drip, of course, because of surgery, and I literally told them to take it off. And the guy was like, "There's going to be a lot of pain." It's like, okay, but that's just my body telling me I'm alive. I have to learn to deal with the pain. I can't walk around with a morphine bottle anyways. And so I'm just that kind of person. I don't like anything that speeds me up or slows me down outside of drinking wine and drinking coffee. All right. But absolutely, I agree. And there should, instead of there being, but this just shows you how corrupt all the bureaucracy is in our government. How an organization like Big Farm could really take the money and manipulate the policies, just like the Federal Reserve does. They have the money to corrupt our politicians, and so the politicians bend to their will. It's the same thing with Big Farm, and Big Farm takes it to another level. If you don't do what they want, they just kill you. Okay, so all right, Katie, Lisa Left Eye Lopez was murdered. This was definitely no accident. Oh yeah, somebody brought that to my attention. I saw the video. She was filming while she was driving, was distracted and overcorrected on the road. So when I first saw that, I thought, yeah, she shouldn't have been filming while she was driving. Because keep in mind, when she was filming this video, it wasn't like these tiny cameras we have today, like Go phones. No, it was one of those big loppy, VHS recorders. I watched the documentary, and for those of you who have not seen her documentary, you actually see her get killed in the video. I mean, don't see her. She's filming right as she's having an accident, and she dies in there. Now, there is a lot of people saying that somebody did something to the vehicles, and that often happens. Stories like this will come out whenever somebody like Lisa Left Eye Lopez starts exposing the truth. So people go, do you think she was killed? I go, look, I believe it's possible. I mean, I watched a documentary. It just looks like she was distracted by filming. But do I think it's possible that somebody did something to her? Yeah, of course I do. I mean, as somebody that had a platform like Lisa Left Eye, who is huge, and a lot of people listen. And this is before the days of social media. So you can only imagine. You know what I mean? And she had that kind of reach. So let's put it this way. If I found out somebody came out and they gave hard evidence that she was murdered, I would not be surprised. I wouldn't be like, oh my God, I can't believe it. No, I would not be surprised. But I did see the documentary, and you could see she was definitely distracted. Okay. Gerson, Jim Humble, and many more have been signed. Oh yeah, holistic doctors. Yes, they have. I agree with that. And that's usually what happens, because you can't usually control or make money off of the things they find. Lady Learner, I went to the, I hope I said this right, Techion Technology Clinic last week. It's out there. Big Farm is simply full of on cabal. Yeah, I'd say that. Sad, because many more could be cured with holistic and natural protocols. God wins in the end. Yeah, absolutely. God wins every single time. Make no doubt about it. So for those of you, when I was doing the NESARA GESARA, and I was saying that, look, when I started doing my research into it, I found out that NESARA GESARA not only is possible, but it's already started. And it didn't start till Trump got in office. For those of you who don't remember, Trump is the one that signed the right to try law, which means if you are have a critical illness, you have the right to try whatever you want, and nobody can stop you. So God bless Donald Trump for that, because no other politician in the right mind would do that, and he did. Okay, so you can understand why he ruffles a lot of people's feathers. Okay, Brad, I've been saying this for years, that they will never say that they have the cure for AIDS or cancer, because the damn money pharmaceutical companies make, and the government and the cahoots. Yep, Just like drugs will never be eradicated because of them. Yeah, it's true. Well, not only will drugs never be eradicated, but keep in mind, once Ronald Reagan got into office, he was the first administration under George Bush who was in control of the CIA. Keep in mind, he was the lead of the CIA. The CIA was smart, and they started marrying into the mafia, and they found out if they control the drugs around the world, they could become filthy rich. And that's exactly what they did. They went after Noriega to take over the cocaine trade in Panama, and they told everybody, hey, we got to go over and help the rebels. They went after the cartels in Mexico to use that as a route to bring drugs in. So, I mean, I could get into this. Basically what happens, our governments became bed buddies with some of the worst drug cartels in the world. That's not a secret. You could see why they want open borders and how it is they don't mind MS-13 into our country, because they get huge money back from the cartels that magically funnel money through donations. But yeah, there's no doubt about it. The cure for AIDS and cancers has been there all along. Okay. As a matter of fact, for those of you who have never heard her story, go read about Dr. Mary's monkey and the men who killed Kennedy. It's an interesting story. Whether it's truth or not, it's very interesting. Dr. Mary was a very young lady, around 19 or 20 years old. She had discovered in the blood of monkeys that there were different types of diseases. And through the use of manipulation with radiation, she created cancer. Not only one cancer, but she created multiple versions of cancer. And she found that through radiation of all things, you can expedite it and make it grow quicker. As a matter of fact, it's tied into the Kennedy assassination, because she did work with Jack Ruby and Lee Harvey Oswald. It's a crazy story. If you ever watched Kevin Costner's JFK, then go listen to this right here. I'll leave a link for it. Dr. Mary's monkey. It's crazy how they all overlap, and all these people knew one another, which you'll find out in this. You could look this up. Jack Ruby, when he was arrested after killing Lee Harvey Oswald, what he said when they were arresting him is, they're going to kill me with cancer. That's what he said. Now, this man went into jail without cancer, and he died quickly within, I think, a couple weeks or a couple months of cancer. So they absolutely went in there and they killed him. So Dr. Mary's monkey the story is, she is the creator of cancer. She found the genes, and she found what expedites it, and that they were talking about how the government can create a gun by pointing it at you, puts out a certain type of pitch or wave that causes it expedites cancer. So it's a crazy story, but I just wanted to share that with you for you guys to go check it out. I will leave a link. Okay, Charlene, let's see here. The reason you rarely or ever hear of the very wealthy dying from cancer, I heard of Dr. B several years ago and wonder where he is now. As Dr. Brozowski, the guy that's curing cancer. As people can see, we need more of these doctors in healthcare professions. Yeah, they really do tie their hands. Believe it or not, the healthcare industry is one that I'm very, very, very familiar with. There's all types of things that you'd be sickened by. And that's another thing that Trump changed. He removed the gag order. What that means is this. If a doctor is diagnosed you with something, and there is a generic version of a medicine or one that can help you a lot better, they're not allowed, and it's more expensive. They have to tell you about the cheapest one. They can't tell you about the one that's best for you, depending on your insurance. And guess who those people were? Medi-Cal and Medicare patients mostly suffered from this. So they prolong your suffering because there's a gag order that prevents them from telling you about the more expensive medicine that would be help you much better. Yeah, that's in the industry, believe it or not. So let's see here. Many doctors now can't even tell you how to take food supplements. Yeah, they can't tell you about food supplements at all. That's the thing that Dr. Sebi was talking about, that doctors are not taught on, they're only taught how to diagnose and basically deal with sicknesses. They're not taught about nutrition and other holistic things that cure the issue. Now, when I say that, I'm generally speaking. Obviously, if you go to a doctor and there's something wrong with you and they give you some medicines, you're cured, that's fine. But I'm talking about some of these bigger diseases that are out there. Okay, so my degree in the background is health and wellness promotion, but wellness in this country is not what most think. No, it's not. I agree with you 100%. And I lost my dad to cancer too. Sorry about that. My father was my entire foundation. So to this day, I'm still trying to deal with it. And he died in 2013. God, I pray Trump has got it to a landslide win. Yeah, me and you both. Me and you both. Okay. Oh boy, Pimpy, don't go get your channel removed. Yeah. Well, I can tell you this. That video I released that says, NESARA GESARA releasing the cures. Yeah, somebody had made a suggestion. You'll probably see his comment in here not to put the word cures because they'll remove the video. So I did change it, but not just that. They demonetized that video. So yeah, you got to be careful about what you say on here. I work really hard to just be able to bring information to you guys. But yeah, it's weird because the more I learn about YouTube and what you can and can't say, it's a damn shame to be quite honest with you. But yeah, all right, some of these are bigger. I have not read them all. Alkaline healing. I love this. For those of you who know, there's a saying that diseases and cancer cannot live in the alkaline world. Therefore, you should drink alkaline water. You can go on eBay and buy little tiny machines, not very expensive, that will allow you to make alkaline water. Hell, you could buy alkaline water inside a store, although I don't trust it. They tell you it's alkaline, but I don't believe it's the right levels. I do have a machine that does turns my water into alkaline. So yeah, bring them to alkaline herbs. Yep. Plus there's foods out there, you guys. Dr. Sebi has a whole entire book on it. I highly recommend you go check it out. So Dr. Sebi has these videos on YouTube that you'll love. He actually could tell you, he knows how the electrical electronics in your body, I guess the electrolysis in your body, how they work, how it functions. And he's saying certain foods do certain things to make sure that your body constantly stays in the right frame that it should be. You know what I mean? So make sure that it's constantly working properly. And every time something is wrong with you, that just means something is off. And you could fix it through foods. And he's got some great books out there. I mean, he's got some really good cookbooks on salads, man. You guys got to check it out. So sorry, I got distracted. I studied Alfred Bowman. That's Dr. Sebi's real name. Yeah, for 6 years. 58 alkaline doctors strangely died, mainly in car accidents. Yeah, that's always what happens. Yeah, they die magically of car accidents. Thanks for the Sebi mention. Clearly, you were guided to me. Dr. Sebi did not create compounds. His wife, Ma'am Bowman, the last wife, who today claims imposters took over her husband's business, is questionable. I know Dr. Sebi's resort is still there. I don't know what's going on. I heard there's a little bit of infighting there. But the lady before Dr. Sebi was killed, there was a lady I used to call over there before she's since retired. But I specifically used to call and ask for her because I would tell her what's wrong and she would point me to the right direction. So yeah, he cured my disease. I was stuck in my clinic for rheumatoid arthritis. Okay, because I use Mama Bowman's formulas. She is the brain. Dr. Sebi was the voice. Good. My channel has hundreds of his teachings and the truth for all to hear. He was a chancer, but good man, bigger heart, wanted to heal the world. Sebi had no idea about the Illuminati. Yeah, well, they killed him in prison. Thanks, Pimpy. Love this video. Love from the UK. I love the UK right back. So everybody take a peek right here. If you go in the comments, this guy's Alkaline Healing. He says he's got a lot of Dr. Sebi videos. If you guys are curious, you want to go check them out, go check out Alkaline Healing Advocate. You might go in there and find some things that you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised, okay? Home value glass. Damn, I'd be out of blood. I'd be out for blood if that were my child. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. So if you've seen the video, you've seen a police officer who had 2 little girls and one of them passed away. Not because of the cancer, because Dr. Brozowski cured her of a cancer. But she died from the treatment. It turned her damn brain to mush. And it was really hard to watch. I've seen that video probably about 50 times. And every time I see his testimony, it takes a whole lot to fight back the tears. I don't know how some of these people, if I found out that people knew something that could have made a difference in my child's life, I'm not sure I have the strength to keep from choking them to death, if you get my drift. All right. Also interesting is, what is this? Pulsed electromagnetic field device. I heard about that actually. It was widely promoted by Bob Becker because he found a patent in a 100-year-old patent that repeatedly cured all cancers. Yeah, see, but here's the thing about cancers. Home value. Remember, I was telling you, Dr. Mary's monkey, she was talking about there's certain wavelengths and stuff you could do to expedite it. You could kill it. You could do this with certain diseases. It's an amazing story, but it's weird how it's all tied into. For those you don't know, Dr. Mary's actually murdered. Somebody had set up a door that was made of steel that when she went to touch, that was like it electrocuted her, it zapped her. Her whole body was fried like she got hit by lightning. You know what I mean? She just knew too much is what the story is. Really freaky. All right, so let's go over here. Debios, I love this video. I did a speech on the pH levels of the body. This was such an eye-opener for me. It led me to cancer treatment. I also followed the Truth About Cancer Facebook page. Thank you for posting. Yeah, again, this goes back to making sure your body is balanced right. Your body has the ability to heal itself from most all diseases that are out there. Believe it or not, even ones that they say you can't be cured from. Okay? That's not true. You know, we didn't have medicines back in the day, and people were able to cure themselves of a lot of sicknesses and also avoid it. It's just because they ate, you know, regular home food instead of McDonald's every day. So, you know. Thanks for the here you go. So, Michelle, thank you. Thanks for the pimple. Thanks for the video. Thanks for the info, Pimpy. Let me get the words out. Here's a link to Dr. Brozowski. So look right here, you guys. I'm going to enlarge it so you guys can see it. For those of you, because some of you guys are asking about Dr. Brozowski's, there it is, clinic. So it's www.burzynskiclinic.com. So that's his clinic. For some of you out there who feel like there's no hope for certain cancers, look, Trump gave you the right to try. Now, again, the sad part is there is no, I don't know if insurances will or will not. I think the right to try forbids insurances from denying coverage. So look into that. I don't know that 100%, but you guys will. That's his clinic. I know somebody had mentioned earlier about having a tumor. Look, Dr. Brzezinski cured brain tumors. Those are supposed to be automatic deaths. Okay, he's cured a lot of different. For those of you who watched my last video, I left a link to his documentary. I highly recommend you go back and watch the whole thing so you can see for yourself. Try not to get pissed and break your TV because the documentary will piss you off. It's amazing what they did to that poor man. All right, Danielle. Okay, Daniel. Awesome information, Pimpy, as always. Remember that President Trump signed the Right to Act. Yep, I was just talking about the Right to Try Act, allowing terminally ill patients to bypass the FDA drug laws and try drugs and other own choice that will help cure them. This is a big deal. Again, this is just Trump, man. I can't stand the fact that these damn media that we got out there is so terrible, and they paint such a negative picture. People are really missing out on one of the greatest administrations we ever had. And it's sad because people believe all the hype and the lies. But you see with Trump doing something like this, the right to try, First Step Act, opportunity zones. You know what I mean? This man's doing things that they don't want him to do. And they bash him at every turn. And it pisses me off that people are missing out on who I think would be one of the greatest presidents by the time he is done. Hate the orange man all you want, but the truth of the matter is, and here's another thing I'm going to tell you that was big. It's probably the biggest thing besides this that he's done for healthcare industry that'll blow your mind. People are out there talking about their coverage, but Trump making everybody post the prices for the procedure was probably the biggest move to help lower the cost of medical care ever, because that allowed people an opportunity to shop around and find cheaper per cost. So it keeps costs down. That when he did that, it blew my mind. In addition to that, when he passed the farm bill that nobody talks about, he legalized the commercial use of marijuana, hemp. And so what that does is now they're creating biofuels that cars can run on. that very little to no CO2 comes out. People talk about the Green Deal. Well, these are the things that Trump did that nobody talks about. That's probably the biggest thing that's ever done for our environment. Even though they go, oh, he took you out of the Paris Agreement. The Paris Agreement wasn't doing nothing but funneling money around. There's wealth distribution. But his farm bill did the biggest thing ever done by any administration to help our environment. Nobody talks about it. That's the difference between somebody like me who does his research and those who don't. Fifth Street, the C. Thank you, Pimpy. You're absolutely right. The documentary should have been about Dr. Sebi and what he was able to do for people. It wasn't about race. I met and was going to Dr. Sebi when he was working in Chicago on 87th Street, close to Stony Island. Love it. My sister at the time was dealing with lung cancer. Our family found out about her illness when it was near the end, but my nephew and I found Dr. Sebi and used to go to his office to buy his products. Another great video. Oh, you didn't tell what happened. I hope you didn't tell how she's doing. I hope she's okay. So please leave a comment under this video if you're watching this. I'm hoping that you have some good news. Let us know how she's doing, because you can't just drop that bomb on us that you found out she had cancer, then you started seeing Dr. Sebi. I'm hoping he was able to cure her. Yeah, you guys, I made a comment. Look, the whole trailer and the Nick Cannon finishing that movie. What I said was really just stop focusing on the race. I get why, but the thing is, because of that, people get distracted about the whole racial issue and are not focused on what matters the most about the greatness of Dr. Sebi. Wasn't his skin color. Wasn't his skin color at all. It was the great things that he was able to do for people in need. That should have been the story. Okay, if you've seen my video, you can see I didn't show the whole trailer, but the whole trailer gets into civil rights movements and, black people being killed. I'm like, oh my God, why? All I want to know is about what did he do for people. You could put Dr. Sebi together with other great men like Malcolm X, Martin Luther King. I mean, we could go on. Martin Luther Sr., all these people, Edgar, all these people that were killed for standing up for blacks. I get that. You could put them all together. I did a video on my other YouTube channel about something that blows my mind. There were 20 ex-slaves that died millionaires. Nobody ever talks about them. I'm like, how can a country that's so racist and oppress black people so much allow 20 ex-slaves to become millionaire? And one of them was a lady named Beatty Hudson, and she was she pretty much was the developer of downtown Pico Boulevard in Los Angeles. She had a bunch of she died with like $3 million, and she owned property in Los Angeles and pretty much was the real estate over of the vast majority of it. So it pisses me off because I never heard of these stories of these people. I was so mad. I was like, see, don't teach you this. They purposely hide this stuff. And so, something like that I get. But would focus on, Dr. Sebi's, that's the whole purpose of this. We're talking about cures in this video, not racial issues. I'm beyond tired of that. What we hear about it every day in the news. Good Lord, man, every day. Aunt Jemima's racist, Uncle Ben's racist, Dr. Seuss is racist, the national anthem's racist, the flag is racist, the Constitution is racist, statues are racist, shoes are racist. After a while, you're like, holy crap, enough, I'm done. Really, I don't care if they are or not. Just tired of hearing about it. Really, it gets to a point where you're like, everything is racist. And you're like, it can't. It's just this nation. People left other countries to come to this nation. If it was that bad, then why the hell are they coming here? So I don't want to hear about it. I watched the entire documentary on Dr. Brzezinski. Yeah, this video makes steam cut on my ears, and yeah, it will. The deep state, the AMA, yeah, the AMA is a big part of it. All right, the FDA have gone to restrict people from getting well. And their mantra of making money by keeping people sick. That's exactly what it is. The AMA and the FDA has to be abolished. And I agree with that 100%. Especially the AMA is supposed to be the American Medical Association, which is a group of doctors. And they also make up part of the team that does Medicare. They're just terrible, man. They're never, and they get bribed. They get big paychecks too. And their job is to really just find a way to get you guys barely by, and that's about it. But I agree with that 100%. If you guys watch the documentary, I'll leave the link again. You will get pissed. Julie, Pimpy, I need the eye wash you were talking about. I have similar issues for many years. I've been testing. Okay, Julie, here you go. And I will leave a link. Here's the one I have. All right, I will leave a link for this. This is the one I used, okay? And okay, so when it comes to any type of holistic medicines, you guys make sure you follow the directions exactly like it tells you, okay? Because this is kind of like a weird type of powder, but if you don't dissolve it the way it is, it can make your eyes a little bit itchy. But this is the one that I used right here, and I'll be more than happy to share it with everybody. I'll leave you the link for those you who are interested. And here's all the ingredients right here that's in there, okay? So you can see right here, where's it at? Fluoride, phosphates, essential for maintaining proper elasticity for the skin. So you can do it for your skin. It is a powerful antibiotics that helps the body cells protect and damages. Is this, did I get the wrong one? Nope, I grabbed the wrong one. Sorry. You guys, I thought this was the right one. Let's ignore this for now, and I'll get the right one. When I was going through here, I thought that was the one, but that's not the one. Ignore that. But I would do this, though. Look. This is Dr. There you go. Dr. Sebi right there. Sebi. And in here, you could go in there, and they tell you what each one of these were. Sorry about that. I got the wrong one. But you could do view products. So I will leave the link to his website. Okay? So you could come in here and then shop around for what you're looking for. That should help you out. Tons, okay? Sorry about that. I thought I selected the right one, sweetie. You can go to that website and you can find it, okay? All right. In 2001, I was diagnosed with cancer. I spent hour upon hour doing research on both what my oncologist recommended and what was available worldwide as a non-medical treatment. My oncologist went berserk when I rejected his treatment. I did agree to come in for blood work for a period of 5 years to monitor progress or lack thereof in my selected method of neutral treatment. Each time I went in for blood work, my markers were going down. Your markers were going down. Oh, that's a good thing, though. For about a year, I'll never forget going in for my blood work. My oncologist told me that I don't know what you're doing, but keep doing it. It's been going down for cancer-free for 19 years. Yes, I love great news like that. Okay, so let me show you something. Okay, so this is Greg Braden. Greg Braden found it's called a medicine-less hospital overseas. And he filmed them literally chanting away a tumor. And it was done live, by the way. So I'm going to play a little bit of it because I think this is in a place called Bergman is where it is. So it's overseas. But here's the funny thing. Or I want to say funny thing. There's a ton of U.S. doctors that have been going here and they volunteer to do work here. So there's a cancer and a medicine-less hospital in Beijing. Okay, but I want you to watch because
they any discussion regarding this feeling-based prayer, this lost mode of prayer, sometimes seems a little more than act.
Oh, I'm going to interrupt you real quick. I absolutely believe in this type of stuff. I believe that the body is moving on a type of frequency. Sometimes you're out of whack. So if you get around people that are healing and you hit the right frequency, I think you could cure yourself of anything. So anyways, it's going to show you live.
Academic until we can actually apply it in our lives or see it applied in our lives. It's in the late 1990s that I had the opportunity to do precisely that. When I saw the footage documenting the healing of a life-threatening condition within the body of a living woman using precisely the kinds of techniques that we're speaking about right now. For me, it was this kind of information that took this lost modality of prayer out of the realm of academics and into something that's very real that we can apply in our lives. I had the opportunity during that time to see some video footage of the healing of a 3-inch diameter bladder cancer inside the body of.
Okay, what you're looking at here is the picture with the cancer, so you know it's real. What they're going to put over here is, so that's the cancer, so you can see it. Then over here, they're going to show you like real live video, and you're going to see it literally disappear.
A woman who by Western medical standards had been diagnosed inoperable. She had gone as a last resort to a medicineless hospital in Beijing, China. It was in this medicineless hospital where they began simply by addressing the life-affirming ways that she could change how she was living her life. They taught her life-affirming ways to breathe and life-affirming ways to nourish her body, gentle movements to stimulate the energy centers in her body. And as she was doing these and strengthening her body, at one point it made sense to undergo a process. Now I'd like to share this. I'd like to describe it to you as a very potent example of how the feeling world inside of our bodies has a direct effect, in this case a very graphic effect, on the world beyond our bodies. So in the video documentation, the film shows a woman lying on in a hospital room. She's fully awake, she's fully conscious, she believes in the process that's about to happen. Before her, there is an ultrasound technician who is running an ultrasound wand over her lower abdomen that we can see on a split-screen television. And on the left-hand side of the screen, they do a snapshot, a freeze frame of an instant in time for reference, so we can see what her condition looked like in that instant in time. On the right-hand side of the screen, we are able to watch real time as 3 practitioners stand behind her, working with the energy in her body and with the feelings in their bodies. And what they do is they begin to chant a word that to them they've agreed upon, that reinforces the feeling within them that she's already healed. The chant essentially says already healed, already done. And as they begin to have this feeling and to say these words among themselves, on the computer screen, on the television screen, we can watch in real time this cancerous tumor as it disappears in less than 3 minutes real time. It's not like time-lapse on a documentary where you see a rose unfold in 30 seconds in something that normally takes days. This literally happens in less than 3 minutes. Her body responded to the feelings of the practitioners who were trained to have the kinds of feelings that they were having. And all they were feeling.
Okay, so, this takes me back to, I remember, this story I heard when I was growing up. It's one of these Jesus stories. So there was this pond or lake, and once a year the angels would come down from heaven, and anybody who was touching the water, you would be healed. And there was a man, he was crippled, and he'd been crawling on the ground for years trying to get to the water. And he had finally gotten really close to the water. I mean, he was really close, and he knew, very soon the angels were going to come down, and he was afraid he was going to have to wait another year. And Jesus was walking by, and he knew who he was. And so, he said, "Hey, Jesus." He goes, "Can you please get me to the water so he could be healed?" He says, "What do you mean?" He says, "If I get to the water, when the angels come down, God will bless the water through the angels, and it'll heal me." And he said, "Well, if you believe God can heal you through the water, then why don't you just believe God will heal you, period? Just stand up and walk away." And the guy said, "What?" He said, "Just stand up and walk away." And the man stood up and walked away. So when I see something like that, it kind of, for some reason, it brings me back to that story. It always rings in my head that a lot of times I'm not so sure that most of it, when you go to the doctors, they tell you you're sick. See, you're not sick until you get there, and they tell you you're sick. You know what I mean? I know it sounds crazy. It's like when you pray to people, you're in the hospital and somebody's really sick. People pray wrong over them. So when they're praying for them, in their mind, they visualize the person there laying sick. They can see him sick. You're just making them sicker. The way you're supposed to pray is your hands are up. When you pray over them, you're supposed to visualize them up, smiling, and being healthy. That's how prayers are supposed to work. I'm not trying to tell you how to do your business. I'm just saying. So when I see stuff like that, people always go, "Oh man, that could be fake." Well, I don't know. I'm not there. I mean, I'm just sharing this with you. Could it be fake? Of course it could be fake. But could it be real? Of course it could. I heard about this over in Bum Run Grad. It's another hospital. It's a medicine-less one. And I absolutely believe stuff. If people go in there with the belief that it's going to work, it's going to work. Before anybody does anything else, if you're not already in that mentality that you're going to be healed or you're going to be fake or fixed, then it's not going to work. You have to already believe that not only is it going to work, but it's already happened. That's just my crazy way of thinking. Pimpy, rather you like it or not, race and racism are still alive. Okay. You can't have one without the other. Race and racism? Hmm. Okay. It's a black man who had one mission to do good with his discovery, going against the Agenda 21, but cut short because of his threat of knowledge and power. We were put we were put at a disadvantage, murdered for as simple as reading a book. Who you know people that were murdered for reading a book? What? That's some real screwed up stuff. I mean, I remember they used to do that to slaves, but you said we were like you personally know people or you were killed for reading a book. I mean, I know that stuff happened 100 years ago, 150 years ago, but I don't know if maybe I'm wrong. How many of you out there know a black person that was murdered for reading a book? I mean, literally no one. I don't know of any black person that was murdered in modern times for reading a book. Okay, okay, so murder for simply reading a book, but look how we continue to rise and will rise even higher despite ever escape and brutality. No, do you understand? If you go back to the days of Mesopotamia, even going back to the days of the Sumerian, you have what's known as the Black Sumerians. People got to know about them. They were the most advanced, knowledgeable people in the world, the richest. They were like royalty. I mean, ironically, they are the ones that started what's called servitude and then later on would become slavery. But, they were very powerful. They were healing people. They can literally heal people back in them days. So I think it's in your blood? Yeah, absolutely. I think it's in everybody's blood. But I get what you're saying. Okay, so this is a important tag, civil rights movement, black leaders. I get that, but the point was being is like I want to focus on the greatness of Dr. Sebi. If you want to do a whole nother video on powerful black people that were killed because they learned how to read a book, yeah, I get it. I get it. Then by all means do it. But not everything has to be about racism. Seriously, it doesn't. And when you say racism is still alive today, of course. But it isn't just white people hating black people. There's racism of all kinds. And if you think other people are excluded from them, then you are sadly mistaken. To me, there's only one race that's the superior race, and that is the human race. I said that before in a comment. So, yeah, I get what you're saying. But again, I'm trying to take racism out of it. This is about NESARA GESARA, healing, getting medicines and stuff. It has nothing to do with the race. I'm trying to take the race part out of it. That's what I just didn't like about it. His story is a great story, and it's just too bad that you had to mix in things in there that I thought distracted from what you should have known about Dr. Sebi. Cancer is a toothless tiger. The cure is in the literature. Yeah, absolutely. You just have to know how to extract it and apply. Absolutely, Bryce. I agree 100%. Here's the thing about where we are in our day and age, and that is this. We have access to more knowledge than we ever had before. Back in the olden days, man, you had to get off your lazy butt, do the Dewey Decimal System. I know you're laughing right now because some of you guys forgot about that. Pull out a book, go look it up, check it out. Hope you weren't late for bringing the book back because it cost you a nickel for every day you were late. We don't have that. I can literally jump on a computer and find just about anything and everything I want. All right. That's the great thing about technology these days. So whenever you find out there's something wrong with you, don't hesitate to start researching your ass off. Find out what you can about what's wrong with you and what might be available to you, and just don't give up. That's the part. Like I said, in your mind makes the world a difference. Okay. I'm sorry, I don't have solo-y. Okay. Now just watch your back, Pimpy. This kind of information could cost you your life. We all appreciate you and sharing this critical information. Well, I could just tell you this. I'm the kind of person, because trust me, back in the 90s, I had a VH test that I made about 2,000 copies of that showed black mass in the sickest, grossest way happening in the Vatican. And I actually had them show up at my door. It was the scariest thing in the world. All right. So, but my friend said, why did you do it? And I'll say the same thing about making these videos. There are some things out there that are bigger than myself. If I can help even one person by sharing information, then my life has meaning. If for whatever reason these strangers want to come out and get me, I'm just a small fry guy. But yeah, I understand what you're saying. Absolutely. I remember how sick I used to be growing up. My parents used a lot of synthetic medicines, and I was probably getting sick at least once a month. Yeah, I know the feeling. Same here. About 10 years ago, I started going holistic and taking care of my body, and now the flu would be lucky even catching me in a year. Yeah, I think I get sick maybe like once every 5 years, if that. Absolutely, I understand what you're saying. I don't do vaccines, me neither, nor do I let my kids, nor do I try to keep my grandkids from doing it. But now they almost force you by law. Okay, you can't even go to schools. You see how they use the system to force you to do things you don't want to do? So thank God I have a lot of relationship with doctors, because if something comes up and they tell you you have to have a vaccine, my doctors will just say I got it just because they love me. Okay, I hate how everyone is saying I'm a risk for rejecting any vaccines too. No, I don't think you're a risk at all. Go ahead and explain to me how we had that measles breakout. Remember that about a year or two ago? And what they weren't telling you in the news is the children that were at the school, all the children that had a breakout of measles were the ones that were vaccinated. The ones that never had a breakout were the ones that were unvaccinated. I remember that story got out and they tried to squash it and they made excuses like, oh, those kids weren't in the same room. I just thought it was funny that, and it wasn't just there, it was everywhere. I don't know if you guys remember. There's like an outbreak of measles everywhere, and oh, it's crazy. So Garrett, let's see what's going on. So for 5 centuries, you are seriously going to avoid the medical experiments that went on in Africa, on African people, uh, only in the Americas, but also globally. So you're going to avoid the medical malpractices amongst them. Well, I mean, I'm 52. I'm not 5 centuries old, and I didn't do no experiments on people, but I am aware of what you're talking about. You're talking about Big Farm claiming to go overseas to give these villages supposed vaccinations and help them when in fact they were actually poisoning them. I believe there's a movie called The Concrete Garden or the Green Garden. I forgot what it was, when they found out that they were going over there into Africa and injecting people in a village with serious diseases and then using practicing different medicines on them to find out which ones would cure. So for those you don't know what happens, this is what they do to poor countries, and not just in Africa, by the way, Garrett. They do it in other poor countries as well. So that you're aware, here's what happens. Trials in the United States, whenever the FDA is trying to get a drug done, there's years and years of human testing that has to be done. There has to be data collected. So they found a loophole. What do they do? That's here in the United States. That doesn't keep them from going to other countries and screwing people over. And they do that. They did it in China. They did it in Africa. They do it to most of the poorest countries. In India. So what they do is they go to these poor villages and they go, oh, I'm Bill Gates. I'm here to help you guys. I'm going to give you vaccines. They're not. They're injecting poison into the people. And then they would monitor them by injecting them with the cures as well. Now, here in America, of course, you know the story about them giving the sickle cells, or we're giving the, oh my God, what was it? The nurse lady took care of a group of men, black men. Oh my God, I don't know why I'm spacing it right now, but I think it was like a type of STD, and they were injecting these men with them and then using them as guinea pigs here in America. So yeah, I mean, I'm not avoiding it. I know it happened, but that's not the point of the video. We're talking about cures and the great people behind them. Okay, not the history of how people in other countries screw other people in other countries, poor people over. It isn't just here in the United States, it's around the world, globally. Yes, I agree. No, it's not just a white man, if that's where you're going with this, okay? Drink energized alkaline water. Yes, Mother Nature provides us with what we need, optimum health. I said this, I have a machine that makes alkaline water. You can find them on the internet. They're not that expensive whatsoever. And again, sickness, cancer cannot live in an alkaline world. That's why when people get cancer, they usually do the keto diet. It's high in alkaline, and it cures most people. So something to think about. Why do Pimpy and other races love trying to take race out of everything? Pimpy and other races, good Lord. This has everything to do with race. I'm glad you're uncomfortable. Welcome to being black. Well, I'm Mexican. I guess that, yeah. Yeah, sorry, Neil. I don't understand what's your point at all. I'm not sure what that's got to do with the greatness of medicine and the ability to heal. I don't get it. It has nothing to do with it whatsoever. Like I said, I don't care if you're a green guy, purple girl. I don't want women going, you're sexist. Okay. It's the same with viruses and most bacteria. Can't live in alkaline? Yeah, I agree. You guys, this is a baking soda does neutralize acid in your stomach and throughout this throughout system. During the Spanish flu, multiple families were not infected because they took a daily dose of baking sodas in a glass of water. Now, I did hear about that, and I do hear about that all the time, that people put baking soda in there. But there are little machines that are out there, and they're very inexpensive. You just run the water through there, and it's like a dripping system. And not only does it filter out all the chlorine and crap, including fluoride out of the water, but it has a way of naturally creating an alkaline water. And I do that by the gallons, and that's all what I drink. So I highly recommend it. People go, oh, this alkaline thing. Yeah, but you have to have a certain level of it. And I'm not so sure that I trust bottled water companies to do that. Carrot, here you are again. Why is the majority of the Eurasian ethnics stock in the American, fearful of anything for the African ethnic stock? Why the fragility? Why would anybody fear any ethnic stock? I mean, yeah, you're not a product. You're a human being. I don't get this. Why the majority of the Eurasian ethnic stock? Yeah, well, I don't look at people like stock. So you can look at stock like the stock market, or stock as in livestock. I just don't see people that way. I don't care what color you are. They never did. I'm Mexican. I was born in a poor neighborhood. I could use the excuse, oh, we're in a gang-ridden neighborhood. Now, all my cousins were gangbangers. My cousins been killed in drive-bys, but I never use that as an excuse. Trust me, even as Mexicans, we hear a white man trying to keep us down, and I just never fell for that bullshit. Everybody's responsible for their own path. Sorry, people, I just don't fall for that. You're absolutely right. You're damn right. Tom, I am right. No, just kidding. You don't have to disband bad people or companies. Let them stay going so you don't have to waste your money fighting them. But remove the laws keeping the new technology and natural medicine treatments to be used at the patient's discretion and not the government. Yeah, I agree with this 100%. And you're seeing Trump do that. That's a pretty big major step to say the right to try. So you know what I mean? That's like opening the door pretty soon. I think if Trump grabs control of the Senate and Congress again, and he gets good control of it, you're going to see a lot of this really come out. But the hard part's getting him in there reelected. And so we'll see. It will only take a couple of years before they would dissolve the member. Yep. Once the laws are removed. Yeah, I agree. Look, this is pretty lengthy, but I agree with 100%. If you start removing the laws that protect them and removing the laws that keep you from, natural medicines and things that could really help, then you will see them go away because people will stop using them. No more control of slavery. Yeah, well, again, there's a certain type. I get it. Yeah, I did respond. I knew I did respond to winners. Garrett again. What is race, yo? What is race? I don't know. What is race? What is race, Mr. Pimpy? Race is a dictionary meaning competition between a group of people. Your corruption from the Eurasian ethnic stock created the word race for ethnic stock or genealogy. My Eurasian? No, I'm Mexican. Yeah, sorry. My Eurasian ethnic stock? No, I'm actually Mexican. So that's why I said, to me, there's only one race. I knew I said that somewhere. Human competition is what you're saying. No, I'm saying there's only one race. The cosmic laws, infidelity, does not mandate competition between people. See, it's hard for me to I guess, get on board with this because I know how I am with people and how I expect people to be with other people. You're judged by your character. I can give a crap less what skin color you are. So when I see this happening, because I grew up Mexican and I was able to take advantage of all the great things that life has to offer, you know what I mean? Knowledge, school. I mean, I still was able to buy a house. I still was able to go to school. I still was able to go to college. I could buy a car. I can eat food. I could do whatever I want. There is no oppression of me. So if there's a black person out there that's going to say, hey, I can't buy a house, I can't buy a car, I can't buy a book, and, there are other unforeseeable things keeping that from happening, then I get that. You don't want that kind of oppression. Is it happening? Yeah, of course it is. and you want to stop it, if you really, Garrett, if you really want to stop it, one, vote out the Democrats, because most of this is happening in democratically controlled cities and state. That's the honest to God truth. Try not to get all political, but do your research, and you're going to find out that the highest crime rates, the highest drug addictions, the highest alcohol addictions, the poorest education, all come from democratically controlled places. Highest levels of homelessness. Do you see what I'm saying? Do the research. These are people living in places that have been controlled for decades by Democrats. Sorry, not to get political. I know I was a Democratic strategist. I know what goes on. So let's go over here because I want to share something with you guys, because you guys, that's a good one. I will leave these links in here. Dr. Sebi's. If you guys want to go watch this again, I will leave that in here. Now, somebody did ask me about Dr. Sebi's village. Where's it at? So I will leave the link because this is it right here. All right, you guys? This is it. Look, there's herbal packages. You could go there. It's a resort. There's all kinds of goodies here. I will leave the link if you're interested. I believe this is pronounced the USHA village, all right? So this will be here. This will be a link because some people were asking about it. I will leave it in the link. This right here is called the Solutions to Deep Sleep Every Night. This here is Dr. John Bergman, I believe is how you pronounce it. This video will blow your mind. He's literally going to tell you how your medicines counteract one another and cause more sicknesses. And then you take pills that cause even more sicknesses. He lays it out, one of the best reasons to stop taking medicines I've ever heard in my life. This video is a great video right here, so you can see what he looks like. And he talks about the proper food you need to eat, just like Dr. Sebi. Same thing for you to come check out. Garrett, you might not
Welcome
like
to True Health Tuesdays. Tonight,
he's a white guy.
sleep. Who brought the pillow?
So that's Dr. I believe it's pronounced Bergman. Okay, so Garrett, I was kidding about the white guy thing, by the way. Okay, so if you have time, I would recommend you come over here to watch this video. It is going to blow your mind. And he has quite a few videos like this that I've learned a lot from. Like I said, I have Dr. Mary's Monkeys. I will leave for you guys. I will leave Dr. Bergman's video for you to check out. The USHA Village for you guys to come, for those who are interested. The video, if you want to watch again, this tumor go away. I will also leave the link to Dr. Sebi's products and highly recommend you guys go there to check it out. All right, you guys. They do cover, he does cover in here high blood pressure, how to get rid of it, diabetes, how to get rid of it, kidney diseases as well. There's a lot of things in his video that will blow your mind. Okay, you guys? All right, so I went through there. Sorry, but you got to answer all questions, good, the bad, and the ugly. The point I was trying to make about the race is, look, there's no doubt it's there. We know it's there. It's been there our whole lives. But you're going to try to tell me that black people today are being treated the same way as they were in the 30s, 40s, and 50s. I mean, one of my favorite classes was civil rights class. I love it. History is what I love. I just don't see it anymore. I just don't see it the way the media is pumping into your brain. As a Mexican growing up in America, that's why people say all the time, what nationality are you? American. That's what I am. I was born here. I was raised here. Oh, you mean, what they want to know is, what are you? I'm an American with a Mexican heritage. That's what you want to know. Because it's important for people to label you. So that's why I love saying that. What am I? I'm American. That's what the hell I am. I don't care about all the other stuff. All I care about is my fellow Americans, people around the earth, peace, prosperity, finding ways to break out of this enslavement that we have from the deep state. There's no need for all this suffering at all for anybody. There's no need for people to be getting shot in streets. There's no need for people to be dying of cancer, dying of kidney failure, dying of brain tumor, anything like that. There's no reasons for it. But it's put there on us by some really sick and evil people. Explain to me how David Crosby, is that his name, from Crosby, Stills and Nash? He's rich. There's people who have been waiting on liver transfers for years. This guy's had 5 or 6 of them. How is it that, David Rockefeller was able to get 7 heart transplants? That's what happens when you're rich. All right? That's the kind of stuff we need to break out of. That's what I'm trying to share this about. It's not about race. We're focused on the medicine side of things. If we could keep it there, that'd be great. I do understand there's histories out there that are linked to a lot of different things. But this is about healing. Why don't you heal and get out of that mentality? Woosah. Pimpy. You guys are the greatest. All right. If you like the video, hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so because it helps out the channel. And when you do, I surely do, and I mean this with all my heart. Yes, I did pass up 29,000 subscribers, and it's all because of you guys. And I want to say thank you, and I mean it with all my heart. Thank you for taking part. Thank you for having a dialogue to do so. And like I said, if there's anything that I can share that makes a difference in people's lives, well, then that makes my life worthwhile. All right? I'll catch you later.